Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plugging into the cold, high-voltage pulse of a genre born right where punk aggression met synthetic precision.
We are talking about electronic body music, EBM.
Right, EBM.
Yeah.
And we're going deep on how this, potent fusion of industrial grit and electronic dance, originating in Belgium and Germany in the early 80s, created a whole new physical electronic music.
And it was all driven by what the sources call steel beats.
I love that phrase, steel beats.
It's perfect. And you can't even start this conversation without naming the two fundamental generators of that sound.
Go on.
Well, from Belgium, you have Front 242. And from Germany, Die AF Deutsch-Amerikanische Freundschaft.
Ah, yes.
They really laid down the sonic blueprints. These cold, sharp electronics and vocals that sound less like singing and, well, more like militaristic commands.
So that brings up a question for me right away. The sound's core characteristic is described as inorganic, yet intensely physical. But how is that physicality unique? I mean, isn't all dance music physical?
That's a great point, but it is unique because the rhythm itself is a statement. The beat structure is hard, minimal, always 44 time, often around 120 to 140 BPM.
And it's supposed to sound like machinery.
Exactly. It's not about fun, flowery grooves. It's the rhythmic mimicry of conformity or the state machine itself. It's built on drum machines, the classic TR-808, TR-909, but they're treated to sound absolutely brutal, like a factory floor.
And the synths just reinforce that whole idea. They're not bright. They're monochrome and heavy, using these repetitive loops that can get you into a trance state.
Right, but a very physical trance, and the vocals they just underscore all of it.
Low-pitched, robotic.
Often distorted, yeah. And they're mixing languages, German, English, French, all delivering these slogans or, commands.
So this aesthetic was all rooted in Cold War anxiety.
Totally. Exploring themes of surveillance, mechanization, human alienation, the military uniforms, the leather. That imagery you see with the early acts wasn't just for shock value.
It was irony.
It was political irony, yeah. Using the uniform of structure to critique the system itself.
So if the message was about mechanization and this sort of heavy critique, how did that translate into such a huge, thriving social scene? Its impact on the underground club scene across Europe in the late 80s and early 90s is, well, it's staggering.
Because the energy is just undeniable. And this, for me, is the real aha moment. EBM is a foundational stepchild to so many later sounds.
Okay, like what?
It's minimal. Driving 44 pulse was critical in shaping industrial rock and metal. Think Ministry, Nine Inch Nails, Rammstein. You can hear it all over their sound.
Oh, absolutely.
But it also fed directly into the core of early techno and acid techno.
And it cemented a specific look, didn't it, for certain club scenes? The dark clothes, leather, cyber outfits. You still see that today at some of the bigger alternative gatherings.
Precisely. Festivals like Wave Goetic Treffen in Germany, for example. And the sound isn't dead. It's seeing a strong revival since the 2010s.
You're talking about artists like Face Fatale and Boy Hager blending it with post-punk?
Right. And even in the DJ world, you have the rise of techno body music, or TBM. It's basically a modern, faster blend of that brutal EBM pulse. Artists like Helena Hoff really champion it.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? EBM successfully translated an anti-establishment political feeling and a kind of social anxiety into necessary body movement.
It did, yeah.
It kind of weaponized electronic music. It makes the listener not just a consumer of sound, but a participant in the machine, following the commands of those steel beats.
Which brings up a really important question. How does this seemingly lifeless, mechanical music become an engine for such a visceral kind of movement? EBM's essential attraction is the genuine heat, that raw physical compulsion that sits deep inside its inorganic, repetitive rhythm. And to really feel that contrast, we challenge you. Dive into the early catalog.
What should they start with?
Put on Nitzer Ebb's Join in the Chant. Just feel the heat of that machine driving your body.